Hey everyone, and welcome to the Gameweek 23 team selection video. Um, Fallen quite a few spots, about 150 spots in the last 2 weeks. Hasn't been great. And this week, I'm thinking that things could either go really bad or really good, as I feel like I'm going to have a bit of a differential team compared to most. And that's kind of why I started with the team a little higher up, just to open like that. But I feel like there's a lot of maybe controversial picks that I am making this week that I don't think are terrible. I would say if you're following things to proceed with a bit of caution, but I also don't think they're terrible decisions either. I have made two transfers already, and I'll start with those in taking out CDK. So Tiketalare did play in the Champions League fixture today. This is being shot on Wednesday night in Canada. So he did play today, meaning that, and Lookman didn't. So, or I don't know if Lookman subbed on or something, but Lookman will probably get the start over the weekend. And Retegi has been in such form recently that I can't see him being sat. So I have brought in Retegi. Seems like a must-have right now. And to fill in the midfield, it's a bit of a hopeful pick trying to get ahead of a trend, but with Kvaratskhelia out now, David Nares is on that left wing where Kvaratskhelia used to be. They are first in the league. I only had one Napoli player. A lot of people may already have two and can't really do that without giving up a Di Lorenzo or Buongiorno or Lukaku or something. So may not be for everyone, but I feel like I don't need to play him every week, and in fact, I'm not planning on playing him this week. But I think that he could end up being a trendy pick, especially if he catches a little bit of form. So I'm looking forward to that in the coming weeks when he does start playing. Catrone went out as well as CDK. Como has tough fixtures coming up. He served his purpose in the double game week. Happy to let him go. And I don't want to get rid of either of my other two attackers, and I wanted to bring Retegui in. So that kind of explains the two transfers. So, where does controversy start? So first, risky pick. There is the Milan Derby this weekend. It could definitely go either way. Milan's going to be upset that they missed out an opportunity to um, clinch the round of 16 for Champions League after an early red card against Dynamo Kiev, or was it Kiev? No, Zagreb, I think. One of the Dynamos. Um, and they ended up losing, so they're going to be fired up wanting to win this week. Obviously, it's just the Milan Derby. They're going to be fired up as well. Inter's coming off Champions League win. But goals could fly either way in that game. I think it's likely both teams get scored on. I also think it's probably likely that they get at least a half clean sheet as well. So I'm gonna risk starting Suzuki against Lecce, who just got pounded 4-0 by Inter. Spirit's low, hoping that Suzuki can at least match. Maybe they'll Parma will pull off the full clean sheet. So they played Milan decent in the 3-2 loss last week. I'm hoping Suzuki can play one. Well, probably a lot of people wouldn't be playing him. We would be playing like a Sommer or a higher end goalkeeper. Along the defense, Dodo returned really well last week. Unfortunately, he was on my bench. I can't bench Di Lorenzo. Bokuma against Como could have good returns. Cambiaso, I saw might be injured till mid-February. It has an update on here. I'd need to look into it. This may change closer to the deadline. As of right now, I'm keeping him there because if he doesn't play, it just goes to David Neres playing. So that's fine as well. So I'm not too worried because I assume if he's not starting, he's probably just not playing, and I'll get the sub off. I don't imagine that there'll be a like sub on 1 point cameo kind of deal. In the midfield, we have Lookman, who I'm hoping finds a bit more form. Freuler's probably going to be my 4 to 6 pointer, and Yildiz, hopefully he's starting. He looked like he was trying to create in the game against Benfica. They just struggled. Juve's just in bad shape right now. Um, but he does seem to be an explosive player still. Thuram, I'm really hoping turns around this form and takes it away from Lautaro. But again, even today in Champions League, Lautaro was the one that stole the show. I have Retegui now. And the other maybe controversial pick is Captain Moise Kean. I know he didn't score last game, but I do have faith that all of the form isn't dried up against Genoa. I feel like he could at least have a goal and be rivaling with people with one of the better captaincy options. And we always know that Moise Kean's good for a brace once in a while too. So that's another little bit of a risky pick, but like I don't think either of the Inter strikers are obvious captain picks. I don't think Di Lorenzo is an obvious captain pick or Teo Hernandez, especially after this week. I wasn't going to go near him. Somer is not an obvious captain pick. So I think the captaincy is a little bit more up for debate. I feel like Retegui might be a popular choice this week. That could be one that I'd see as being popular. I'm just even trying to like look at the like there's not really any a lot of the big teams are playing each other. Like I don't think someone would be going for a Zaccagni or Castellanos captain. Uh Again, I wouldn't take Vlahovic or Kolomwani yet as a captain, although Kolo could be an interesting pick in the future. So I just think captaincy is pretty wide open. I think if you're not going, I think these are probably the two best captain choices. Now that I actually look at everything over again, I think these are two really good captaincy choices. They're just not normal captaincy choices. So, well, Retegui is, Moise Kean not so much, but. I think this is what I'm landing on. This is what I'm going with. Those are my reasons. I think I'm going to call the video there and hope for the best because I feel like if this team does well, it could be a decent rank gain. But I could also lose a lot of points as well with some of my starting decisions. Like we see Pulisic and Teo Hernandez on the bench here. Could be very risky, but I do think the Inter side is better than Inter. Um, it is a bit of a risk to put Pulisic there. Maybe I put him in the first bench spot and he'll sub on for Cambiaso. I don't know. So I'll update with any changes if they're made, but right now that's what I got. Best of luck to you. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.